Live from WLNS TV, this is 6 News at 6.
The alleged conspirators are extremists who undertook a plot to kidnap a sitting governor.
I knew this job would be hard, but I'll be honest, I never could have imagined anything like this.
It's our top story at 6. Thanks for joining us. I'm Lauren Thompson. Sherry is off tonight. There's one big story tonight, and it's about plots to kidnap the governor, kill police officers across the state, and even blow up the Capitol here in Lansing. Here's what we know. 6 people face federal charges for plotting to kidnap Governor Gretchen Whitmer from her vacation home. 7 people face state charges for plans to attack police officers and other officials and to bomb the state capitol. But thanks to the work of the FBI and law enforcement departments across the state who conducted more than a dozen raids, including several right here in mid-Michigan, those plans were never carried out. Now, we'll break this all down for you piece by piece tonight, starting with a look at the men who prosecutors say wanted to kidnap the governor. We kick off our team coverage tonight with Capitol correspondent Tim Skubik.
Last night, the FBI and Michigan State Police arrested 6 individuals charged in a federal complaint with conspiring to kidnap the governor of Michigan, Gretchen Whitmer.
This alleged conspiracy has been under investigation for months and involves individuals from 19 different communities from one side of the state to the other. The government alleges that the accused used encrypted messaging platforms and code words to avoid detection, and they plotted to abduct the governor from her vacation home.
On 2 occasions, conducted coordinated surveillance on the governor's vacation home. Fox and Croft, in particular, according to the complaint, discussed detonating explosive devices to divert police from the area of the home, and that the group successfully detonated an improvised explosive device wrapped with shrapnel to test its anti-personnel capabilities.
Acting under the state's anti-terrorism law, the state attorney general is now charging 7 additional Michigan residents whom she claims are members of the militia group Wolverine Watchmen. She alleges they conspired to start a civil war with law enforcement in addition to kidnapping the governor, and had plans to attack the state capitol.
The individuals in custody are suspected to have attempted to identify the home addresses of law enforcement officers in order to target them, made threats of violence intended to instigate a civil war, and engaged in planning and training for an operation to attack the Capitol building of Michigan and to kidnap government officials, including the governor of Michigan.
After the Nessel announcement, the governor spoke to the state from her office and said when she took the oath of office, she never anticipated anything like this. Then afterwards, she sat down to reflect on all of this, beginning with, how are she and the family doing?
We're fine. We are safe. Our security is, the state police, and they have done an incredible job. And I'm grateful to them. And of course, the FBI, the brave men and women that put themselves on the line to make sure we stay safe.
The governor called the 13 alleged conspirators sick and deprived.
Tim, these were people that have been plotting to blow up the Capitol, have been identifying and plotting to hurt and kill law enforcement, to kidnap and kill me, it appears. And so these are not the actions of, stable people. This is a depraved situation. It is incredibly violent. It is incredibly serious. And I don't think anyone can take it lightly. And I don't think that we should parse our words.
Have you and the family turned your page on this incident, Governor?
Well, I can't answer that, Tim. Certainly, we hope that justice is served, that their convictions are achieved. Obviously, the ongoing conversation around security will go well beyond this moment, but I'm going to continue to stay focused on doing everything I can to keep Michiganders safe.
Here for you in Lansing, Tim Skubik, 6 News.
Well, the official criminal complaint sheds new light onto the details of this plot. Michael Thomas read through that complaint. He's here for you now live in the studio with a closer look at the disturbing details. Michael?
Lauren, the complaint here in my hands goes into vivid detail about 6 people planning to kidnap the governor before the November election. Details in this include destroying her homes, boat, and even mention sending cakes, which prosecutors believe are code words for bombs, to her office here in Lansing. Adam Fox, Barry Crawford, Ty Garbin, Caleb Franks, Daniel Harris, and Brandon Casarta are all being charged with conspiracy to kidnap Governor Gretchen Whitmer and take her to a secured location in Wisconsin. The group began meeting at the basement of Adam Fox's business in Grand Rapids, entering through a trap door underneath a rug. They were stripped of their cell phones by Fox and discussed kidnapping and taking over the Capitol while destroying police vehicles. At the meeting early in June, Fox said he needed 200 men to storm the Capitol and take hostages. June was also the month that Fox met with militia leadership at a Second Amendment rally here in Lansing to recruit more members. At the end of June, they began tactic training. This included firearm training, combat drills, and making IED devices, which were falsy. The first training was held at a militia member's home in Munith, Michigan. The group continued to meet for training at multiple locations throughout September. On July 24th, a telephone call from Fox told the group, "Make a cake and make it all glow." The statement is speculated to be him referring to a bomb. In late August, the group began daytime surveillance on the governor's vacation home, where they planned to kidnap her. In a car ride to the governor's home, Fox said, "Out of everywhere that she resides, this is the only one that's actually feasible." The complaint also goes in to say that the group spent most of September learning the governor's neighborhood. The group spent over $8,000 on night goggles and tasers with plans to attack and kidnap the governor.
All right, thank you, Michael. We move now to the second part of the story. It's about the 7 men who face state charges for their reported plans to terrorize police officers and other officials and to bomb a state landmark. Take a look. Now, these are pictures of 5 of the 7 men who authorities say were part of a militia group called the Wolverine Watchmen. Now, 2 of them are right here in mid-Michigan. Police picked them up in Jackson County. Kira Lake is here for you now, live from the state capitol. Kira, what else do we know about these men and their plans?
Nessel says everyone's effort in this case was so important, including the effort from Michigan State Police and the FBI. And this morning and afternoon, she told us that there will be additional charges filed by the Attorney General's office.
So I'd like to announce the following preliminary charges pursuant to the Michigan Anti-Terrorism Act against 7 individuals, all of whom are now in custody.
And are members and associates of the Wolverine Watchmen militia group, according to Attorney General Dana Nessel. She says they attempted to identify the addresses of law enforcement officers to target them and made threats of violence to instigate a civil war.
And engaged in planning and training for an operation to attack the Capitol building of Michigan and to kidnap government officials, including the governor of Michigan.
All of us in Michigan can disagree about politics, but those disagreements should never, ever amount to violence.
The charges include providing material support for terrorist acts,
a 20-year felony and/or $20,000 fine, gang membership, a 20-year felony which may be served as a consecutive sentence, carrying or possessing a firearm during the commission of a felony, otherwise known as felony firearm, a 2-year mandatory prison sentence to be served consecutive to the other charges.
And for others who think law enforcement has been distracted,
let me assure you that we are very much engaged with taking our responsibility to protect the public very seriously.
And Nessel tells us that these charges could change after a complete review of the evidence. Here for you live in Lansing, Kira Lake, 6 News.
All right, thank you for that, Kiera. Well, as we've reported, the investigation led to dozens of raids involving multiple law enforcement agencies across the state. Take a look at your screen right now. We have those locations mapped out for you. Now, you'll see some of those spots are right here in mid-Michigan, including Charlotte, Munith, and Ovid. 6 News has video of a couple of the raids, so we traveled to Jackson County today to find out more about what happened there. We asked Jackson Bureau reporter Luke Snyder to break it down for us.
I'm on Dunn Road near the Portage River, near the town of Munith in Jackson County. The FBI and Michigan State Police raided a home nearby in the middle of the night. It was all connected to that massive investigation surrounding the plot to kidnap Governor Whitmer. Neighbors tell me law enforcement swarmed the area with drones and helicopters, and it went on for hours.
It was before 3 o'clock this morning. we heard a chopper going over between Dunn Road and Coon Hill and in that area in there. And I went out in the field to take a look, and it was a state police helicopter because they had the big red light on top.
There was another raid in Grand Rapids inside the basement of the Vic Shack where the suspect was staying. The owner says he can't believe it.
I just want to understand that he don't own a business. I own the business. And I've known him since he was 8 years old. I knew he belonged to the militia, but I didn't know it was this deep. He kept it pretty quiet.
And in Heartland, SWAT teams spent hours raiding a home that went into the early hours. Stay tuned to 6 News Online and on our app as we continue to learn more. Here for you in Munich, Luke Snyder, 6 News.
This is Weather First from Storm Tracker 6, sponsored by Auto Owners Insurance. Simple human sense.
Weather-wise, a fairly nice day, although it was still a little bit breezy out there. Temperatures, though, in the 60s. Temperature-wise, it looked fantastic. Here's a Skyview network this afternoon on our St. John's Tower cam. Temperature currently sitting at 64 degrees after a high today of 67. In Grand Ledge, the sun hitting the trees just right really shows off the fall colors that are coming out now. Temperature in Grand Ledge, 64 degrees. Morning low down to 39 on the cold side, we'll call it. As we check out the view from our WLNS Tower cam, 69 the high here at the station. Current temperature at 66 degrees. And Jackson, what a beautiful shot. The sun is heading down to the sky. Temperature sitting at 65 degrees after a high today of 69. Our reading still hovering in the mid-60s across mid-Michigan. We typically hit our high around 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and that's the case again today. Satellite radar shows mostly clear skies here as we check out precision casts through tomorrow morning. Still mostly sunny skies to start out the day. A few showers well to our north, not going to be an issue for us. Moving into Friday afternoon, mid-70s for highs. It'll get a little windy tomorrow afternoon, but otherwise it's going to be quite warm. Into the weekend we go. Saturday, there's a little system, there it is right there, that may give us a 10% chance of a shower. I think it's even a little overdone on the models, but don't be shocked to see a raindrop on Saturday, but 90% of us will miss out on that rainfall as we still see high temperatures either way, climbing into the mid-70s. Here's tonight's forecast. Your overnight low down to 42 degrees, mostly clear skies and light winds for tonight. Those winds ramp up a bit tomorrow afternoon. We'll be in the 10 to 20 range, but gusting between 20 and 30, high 76 degrees. As you check out the numbers on your 6-day forecast, 74 on Saturday, 10% chance of an afternoon shower. 69 on Sunday, near 70 Monday. Monday, a few showers roll through. That's going to be with a cold front that drops us into the low 60s for highs by Wednesday. And then the 6+6-day forecast, lower 60s for highs. Pardon me, I'm losing my voice. Lower 60s for highs late next week. And check out next weekend, high temperatures in the low to the mid-50s. A very fall-like weekend on the way. Maybe a few showers again next Monday. Don't you hate when you do that? It makes your eyes tear up and everything. I'm not upset. I'm just want to cough a little bit.
You know, I'm here for you. I can always finish that 6+6.
I'll know if they see you do weather, I'll be out of a job.
All right, don't talk anymore. Go get some water. Okay. Thanks, David. Well, safety is certainly something that's been talked about for months at the state capitol now, and that conversation is back on the table tonight. We'll have the latest for you on that after the break. 6 News at 6. We'll be right back. Well, safety at the state capitol building has been a hotly debated issue for months. And now with this plot to attack the Capitol and kidnap government officials, the conversation is back front and center. Kaylee Marantet is here for you now live in our newsroom. And Kaylee, much of this debate centers around guns at the Capitol.
Yes, Lauren, guns being allowed in the Capitol has been a topic of discussion for months. Protesters brought guns inside the Capitol back in the spring, which made some wonder if that should be allowed. Now, after this news of the planned attack on the building, safety is something that's on everyone's mind. House Democratic leader Christine Grieg renewed her call today to ban guns from the facility. She said in a statement, quote, "It is also abundantly clear now more than ever before that immediate action must be taken to prohibit firearms from the state Capitol building." I spoke with a member of the Michigan State Capitol Commission. That's the group which ultimately gets to decide whether guns will be allowed in the building. They have resisted making that change to this point, and tonight that member told me there's a lot of new unanswered questions they have, but that issue is still on the table. We'll have more on this story coming up tonight on 6 News at 11.
All right, thank you, Kaylee. Well, the White House is responding tonight after Governor Whitmer mentioned President Trump during her press conference today. The governor criticized President Trump for refusing to condemn white supremacy during the presidential debate. The governor also accused the president of encouraging domestic terrorists, calling him complicit in hate speech.
Hate groups heard the president's words not as a rebuke, but as a rallying cry, as a call to action. When our leaders speak, their words matter. They carry weight. When our leaders meet with, encourage, or fraternize with domestic terrorists, they legitimize their actions, and they are complicit.
Well, White House Press Secretary Kayleigh McEnany released a statement in response to those remarks saying, quote, President Trump has continually condemned white supremacists and all forms of hate. Governor Whitmer is sowing division by making these outlandish allegations. America stands united against hate and in support of our federal law enforcement who stopped this plot. Well, be sure to stay with 6 News. We will continue to stay on top of the story in the coming days and weeks. We also have a full rundown of the day's events for you, including more of that exclusive interview with Governor Whitmer. You can find that all on WLNS.com and through our 6 News app. Well, Audrey is here now with sports, and the competition is heating up between Michigan State's running backs.
If the season started today, Lauren, Elijah Collins would more than likely get the nod, but there's another guy in the room who is making a case for himself, and he's a guy Spartan fans know extremely well. After the break, you're going to hear what Connor Hayward has been doing to impress his new position coach. Sports is next. Stay with us.
This is the LaFontaine Automotive Group 6 Sports Desk.
Now that Michigan State's season opener is less than 3 weeks away, we are starting to hear from more than just first-year coach Mel Tucker. And honestly, getting a better feel for what the Spartans are working with in 2020. Of course, sophomore running back Elijah Collins is the presumed starter for Week 1 against Rutgers. But he's not the only back in the room that William Piegler is keeping his eyes on. You cannot forget about Connor Hayward, who is back with the Spartans. And according to Piegler, he's not only putting his best foot forward, but he's reshaped his body during COVID. Hayward was the Spartans' #1 running back at the beginning of last year, but ended up losing the starting gig to Collins, and as a result, he put his name in the transfer portal. After Tucker was hired, though, he decided to come back and don the green and white. He is the most experienced back in the room, and is making a point to show it.
He has gone above and beyond to be a leader for that room. I've been over the moon impressed with Connor and the approach he's taken. I know sometimes when you have that, that outside noise when you transfer and all that stuff and decide to come back, there's, some riffraff and things like that. But he's been unbelievable. The kids respect him. The kids love him. They ask him questions. You can tell he's the oldest guy in the room, and he's been a great leader for those guys.
We'll have more from Connor tonight. Also, MSU men's basketball coach Tom Izzo revealed today that Joshua Langford, Aaron Henry, and Foster Lawyer will be the Spartans captains for this upcoming season. We'll have more on that as well. All right, that's it for sports. David's back after the break. We'll see you then.
Well, don't forget to download your free Storm Checker 6 weather app with lots of great weather information, lightning tracker, hourly forecast, all right there at your fingertips for your mobile device. Our 6-day, 10% chance of a shower on Saturday, but overall really warm through the weekend. A few showers with a cold front moving through Monday, maybe even a thunderstorm there if it comes through during the afternoon. 65 on Tuesday, lower 60s Wednesday, and then go with mid-70s this weekend and then low 50s next weekend, and overnight lows dipping into the 30s as fall arrives.
And once we get the coats out next time, I have a feeling they'll stay out.
Yeah, it's about that time, isn't it?
It certainly is. All right, thanks, David, and thank you for watching 6 News at 6. We'll see you back here tonight for 6 News at 11.